SRL 360 headquarters, where we have a huge episode, well, not a huge episode, pretty short one tonight. We'll recap the round and we'll go through the Aotearoa origin quickly. And I'm here with my co-hosts, Lachlan Martin, Timothy James, and Joshua Butterfield, who will join us shortly. Owies.
Oh, mate, I'm great.
Yeah, I'm good, mate. Looking forward to the Aotearoa origin we have this week. Should be interesting.
Yeah, for sure. So we'll get to the first game of SRL this week that we had. We had the Cowboys v Panthers. So the Panthers really should be proud of themselves in what they did this week. They almost beat the Cowboys, who have looked pretty good this season. I'm not gonna lie. Mark Lee did actually look quite comfortable in that 5'8" role. And then Luka Moscow and Tyler Amatangi make the Cowboys have a really strong back five, and Bunty Campolo has been quietly really good too. Everything's coming to just this Cowboys side. It's just this season makes me think, wow, they could actually do something here, and they could actually make the finals. So it's really good for them. And this season, Panthers could actually. So the Panthers. What do we think on this, boys? Panthers need 4 wins to make the final. Well, basically,
Bro, Mark Lee's my man crush now. Holy, I can't say that word, but I love that guy. He's actually awesome. He did such a good job for us on the weekend.
Anyways.
Genuinely, he did such a good job on the weekend. I chuck him that. He's played literally every single game with hooker for us, and I'm like, we're losing. I'm going to chuck you at 5'8", and he does an absolute brilliant job. 2 tries, there's 212 kick meters.
His kicking was horrendous.
No, his kicking was shut up. Go away, Butters. We didn't ask for you to be here. Go back to being muted.
Hey, no. I was in a call watching it live with a couple of the Manly boys, and my God, we were all
I think his kicking was alright.
His kicking was okay.
He set up 2 tries.
Best. His passing game and playmaking game was good, but it was just his kicking game was something he probably needs to work on over the 4 weeks.
Yeah, I think he looked comfortable with his playmaking, which any hooker should. But yeah, boys. So what are our thoughts on Panthers needing basically to win their final 4 games to make finals? Can they
do it? After this week, I want to talk you down this, right? I actually have, after that week, I have some faith with this team. No, let me speak. I have some faith with this team. Maybe it's a bit too much fast to make finals for me. But look at the teams we versed in the last 4 weeks, right? Yeah. In my opinion, I think we versed 3 of the bottom teams in this comp, right? We versed the Broncos next week. Not going particularly well. It was pretty poor. They pretty much rely on Levo Raymond. If we can shut him down, I have faith. We then versed the Rabbitohs. Going to be a hard match. We've then end this season off with the Eels, who haven't gone great, and the Raiders, who have had probably they've won 2 games, but I don't think either game was really too convincing. So honestly, I think we can win 3 out of the last 4.
But you need to win the next 4, and no offense, I don't think you're going to win against the Rabbitohs.
Yeah.
Let alone the other teams.
Yeah, you're not winning against Eels or Rabbitohs. I'm going to tell you that, mate.
Eels.
I think I actually have some faith after that game. I think making top 4 might be a bit of a hard ass, but I think we can do enough to avoid the spoon.
I think we can do enough to avoid the spoon, but I don't think you'll be able to make the 4.
And to be honest, I'm biased, but I think we should have won that game. I think we're a better team. But let's move on.
Yeah,
how'd that game even play out, though, may I ask? Like, what was the
score? It was
score?
very tight.
It was 22-18. They scored a try with like 5 minutes to go to win the game, Cowboys.
Luka Moscow.
We were leading for most of the game.
Luka Moscow clutch. Alright, and we'll get on to the next game. So Rabbitohs v Seagulls. as Seagulls was just shown in this game that they're on another level, aren't they? Like they are unstoppable in this comp. Like they're just so much better than the next team. I think the Rabbitohs played well. The only thing I did wrong was they just made some silly errors, and that really cost them. I don't think they win the game, even if they don't make those silly errors. I just think it will make the game closer. And Manly their forwards are so good that, but there was some controversial calls, including a very controversial pass to Kane Chapman-Kenny for his second try. Looked it looked like it could have been about 5 meters forward, but what are our thoughts on that one?
Well, even if it was forward, okay, it probably would not have changed the outcome of
It
the
wouldn't
game.
have, but I was just saying, was it forward?
I actually missed that one. I was having a toilet break, but I watched it in the recap, and it did look a little flop forward.
Yeah, fair. Anyone else got any thoughts on this game?
I think Lewis finally had the big game that we know that he can play. Like, I'm not saying that his first couple games were bad. I just this game he was really quiet the first couple games compared to his standard.
Yeah.
This game really showed just how good of a half he is, and actually put up a good bid for an Origin position, in my opinion.
Oh, I think he's a lock in Origin. I don't even think that's a question, but what am I to say? Actually, I've got a lot to say, but anyway. Yeah, but as you said, he's been playing he played really well that game, and like he's shown he was a top shelf half.
Yeah.
I think he's just a player that doesn't. He just never stops trying. Like last season, he was most of the season, even if Manly weren't going well, he would always try things, and it's shown because he had like 11 try assists or something. It was bloody ridiculous. Yeah, but that was the game that we just had. The Rabbitohs v Seagulls. The next game, Raiders v Broncos. Anyone want to recap this game?
Yeah, I guess I'll go over it. So it's very very interesting game, this one. The Raiders, they looked a lot better. I think this was more the fact that they sort of shut down the Broncos' main attacking man over the top 2 rounds. As I stated last week, Levi Raymond, he set up all the Broncos tries for the first 2 rounds. This round though, he didn't go necessarily. I think the Raiders just put a lot of pressure on him, and they forced 3 errors from him. So it wasn't like they just couldn't do anything here. They forced 3 errors on him. Probably could have expected a bit more, but again, he needed someone else to help him. Sam Herbin tried, but other than that, it was an overall poor from the Broncos. I really like the efforts of their forward pack, led by Rahul Kaval and also Terangi Wihu, which I'm not entirely sure if I'm saying that correctly, but they're also
Not
good.
at all. So I think you said that incorrect.
Oh, well. I also think that Jack Anil obviously had been a bit quiet, in my opinion, over the first 2 rounds, but I think he definitely got back into his skin in this game. Yeah.
That's fair. I feel like he was the Raiders. I didn't watch this game live. Not gonna lie, but I I did say that the Raiders they looked really what's the word? They just looked like they had a task and they looked composed. They looked ready to actually be better in the SRL this season, and they keep playing this way. I think even though they're not playing like lights out footy yet, I think if they just keep, and they keep working and playing better each week, I think they could make a push for the grand final. Anyone else
Yeah,
got
look.
any thoughts on
Yeah,
that?
look. That is my pick for the grand final. In the opening two three rounds, as I was saying before, even in their wins against the Broncos and the Eels, they haven't looked great, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I think the first two of the easier teams in the competition, and I think that I want to see how they go. Obviously, they lost to the Cowboys by a big margin in round one. I want to see how they go against the Seagulls and Rabbitohs. So, yeah,
They can keep
that's
it tight with them, then you can kind of say that they're in there. But losing to the Cowboys in round one by such a big margin just puts so much doubt in your mind. It's
at the moment, I think that it's going to be a situation. I think I'm just going to have to. It's a wait and see for me. If they compete against them, I'm willing we're ready to put them back in the Premiership circle. But for the moment, they
Crazy.
weren't great against the they were great against their Cowboys, and yeah.
anyone got any thoughts on the how the Broncos are traveling?
Yeah, the Broncos they've been on and off, and they've heavily relied on their main man Levi Raymond. I do think Pete Veretto's had a little bit iffy start to the season coming off the bench after his injury in the preseason, but ultimately I think he's been a very solid and very reliable forward for the Broncos, and he kind of sets the standard for the rest of the boys. And I definitely could see them possibly making the four if they continue their to play the best footy that they can.
Yeah, they've been they've been okay. Like they've been they beat the Cowboys in round two in a high scoring contest, but as we're saying, as you said, when Levi Raymond gets pressured and he's under pressure, he's shown to struggle. And if teams can learn how to do that, then I think Broncos are going to struggle, and they need to learn how to not need to use Levi Raymond every play. They need to be relying on guys like Pete Veretto and Jack Carl, new addition. He's going to have to get the chemistry of the team really quickly. I think if they can do that, then I'll give them a chance to fall.
Yeah.
Where are they sitting right now?
I'm not sure.
Second last. That's the one thing we've got in this game. You can't take this away from us.
Let's go. Okay, they're second last. I mean,
yeah, we're last.
It will be a climb to get to the four. They're only 2 points out of the four though, and
yeah, but it's only 3 rounds into competition.
Yeah, true.
Like Penrith, I'm pretty sure Penrith are 4 points out of the four.
Yeah, they are.
Like when you're looking something like that, that's not like that big of a margin if you think about it. Although on a 7 round competition, I guess it is. But you get what I'm saying.
So, their draw is they got Penrith at home. They've got So then they got the Eels at home. They've got the Warriors away, and then they got the Rabbit. They take up the Rabbitohs to Brisbane to finish up their campaign. Do we think that will be enough? Because they are on 2 points, and as we've said, you probably need 10 to really to guarantee a spot in the finals. I think they'll. Can we see them winning 3 of them games? Is my question.
No. Penrith finish higher than them.
So you got Penrith.
They have.
They got Penrith.
Who do they have? Final.
They have Penrith, Para, Warriors, Rabbitohs. 3 of the 4 are winnable.
Ooh, so they need 3.
They need 3 of them to really make a push for finals.
I think it's going to be tough.
I think they'll get a shot for their money. Like, I don't think it'll be easy, but as long as they stay on the fight, they win a cup, win that against Penrith this week, I'll keep giving them a shot.
Yeah.
Yep. So the last game of the round until we wrap up onto Adarera Origin was the
Yeah.
ELV Warriors game.
Adarera.
Yeah, it's a New Zealand Origin basically.
It's Aotearoa.
Oh, sorry, I can't pronounce this New Zealand stuff. I'm gonna need one of
It's
you
alright.
boys to say it for me. So the Eels v Warriors, it was a grinding match, and where both of these teams could have won this game. Like the Warriors you could argue Warriors were better, but um, they had the Eels were just stole it from them in the end. They had Xavier Demando grabbed his first try and had two tries in this match too. So he got his first two tries in the SRL. Well done to him. And the Warriors standouts was Chance Bunce and David Barner, who led the ship for them. And yeah, I think the Warriors weren't bad. They could have won this game, but they just let it fall out of their hands. So, boys, what do we
Yeah.
think on this? What do we think on this game?
Yeah, the game was pretty good actually. Glad to see Eagles get the win finally. Honestly, it was good how Warriors put up a fight. We versed them in the grand final in season one. I was there. Most of the Eagles team right now is actually there, so they haven't split up just yet. It's good. They've always been our SRL rivals, and it's pretty good to get the win over them. Just like in the preseason. Yeah.
Fair.
Second. Yeah. Sorry, got an interruption. Nah, it's good. To see what's his name, Xavier. Yeah, get his first double in the SRL. So yeah, no, it's good. Good on Xavier. Good on the entire Eels team. I think it was just an entire Eels team performance. How we just all clicked. And, just comes to show how even though Eli Barnes didn't score any tries, we can still win without him. So that shuts everyone up saying we can't win without Eli. And yeah, no, it was pretty good. Credit to Warriors. They nearly had us there.
Oh,
Logan
I thought that was good.
Strange
I thought
and
they were going to take it from you at the end.
yeah, Logan Strange, David Barner, they had all their cracker games, so it was pretty good. Good on them, good on the Eels, and I'm just glad we got a win finally.
Yeah, fair. Buddies, you got any thoughts? And Lachlan, you got any thoughts on this game?
Yeah, just going off what Tim said, Demanda had an amazing game for his rookie season. He played outstanding, 2 tries, and he really was what won the Eels the game in the end. But I also do think that the Eels defense should get should pat themselves on the back. I think they did very well to hold out the Warriors attack that's so strong. You've got Chance Bunce, who's arguably one of, if not the best fullback in the game, and Corcoran, who's playing some really good playmaking at the moment.
Yeah, for sure. There's just the Warriors. They didn't play. They just this game was a game for them. I felt like they had to win to keep to keep them in the four because they won this game. They're still they're 4 points, 2 from 3, and that gives them a fair shot at finals. Only would have to really win 2 or 3 of them the next 5. What did?
Yeah, I was really impressed with the Warriors' effort areas too. I just think it was a bit unlucky in the end, to be honest. Maybe the class of the Eels got them over. A lot of those players I think are a bit more experienced
Yeah.
than the Warriors, and that was probably what it was in the end.
It'll be
Yeah.
It'll be interesting to see in the coming weeks. We've still got 3 weeks until we see it. But Jai McCartney, he's making his way to the Warriors. We'll see how he does in this new role with the in the halves, because he'll be given the reins. I'd assume to go to halves because he wanted a halves. I know as a South player he wanted to start in the halves, so I'd assume he'd get a crack in the starting at half in the 5'8" for the halfback role. So do we think he can improve them?
Yeah, I think he can. To be honest, I actually, I think of him more as a I actually did I find it unfortunate that he can't play at lock anymore, can he? Starting.
No, because he didn't change his position to a lock.
Yeah, because I actually find that quite disappointing because he did it. I'm gonna be honest, he reached out to me once I became captain, asking if there was from a Penrith, and I was straight up with him. I said I think you're a good player, but I think of you more as a ball playing lock. And the thing is, you can't really do that when your positions aren't a lock.
I think if he works on his speed, he'll be a really good half. A big body, like there's no big as a body as big as him in the halves. It's kind of like a situation where you got a body.
It's kind of like I think it's like similar to Jack White in real life.
Yeah.
Big body.
What?
Good passing game, but I think another thing he needs to work is maybe his kicking. I don't think his kicking's been amazing. His defense is awesome for a half, but you don't really need to do a half for defense.
Yeah, you don't. And I think if he can build his game right, I think he could become a huge player in the SRL though. Like, genuinely, I think he's got a fair bit to work on, but if he can get it right, I think he can be one of the best players we've seen in the SRL.
I wouldn't go that far yet. He hasn't done much, to be fair.
I think he's just a perfect build for a half that just needs time to really get his game right. It's not going to come naturally without the speed of a real ball playing half.
Oh, yeah.
All right, so we're going to move on to the Origin for New Zealand.
Yeah, might as well. Might as well. Yeah.
So we'll just run for the team list and then we'll make some tips. The team list for the Auckland. Okay, so we got. Okay, Auckland team is. Oh no, this is the rest. The rest team is as follows: Damian Wana, who has been named as the captain, Johnny Columbus on the wings with Joseph Lima on the other wing, Cooper Gronk and Tatiara Maxwell in the centers, Luke Thompson and Levi Raymond in the halves. That's a Gunners pairing. Chris Lord and Stace DePace at props. Connor Jones at hooker. Sean Bradford and Logan Guides in the second row. That's pretty good. Logan Strange at lock. Rod Curran, Pryor O'Brien, Albie Akarini and Dan Mitchell.
That's a very strong team.
Yeah, is that the team with Chance Bonds the best bench? Is that the other one?
Nah, that's the other one.
What the?
Which we'll get to the other one now. Okay, so the Auckland side will be captained by Corey Bell.
What? I'm sorry, but what?
I want to point out, in case you guys are wondering, Comish has said that they need to make these teams. He made
Honestly,
them.
I would have captained Auckland instead of Corey. Honestly.
At fullback,
right.
At fullback, you got Tyler Anami. On the wings, you got Bunty Cambolo and Corey Bell. In the centers, Nicolau Adarera, however you say it, and Jai McCartney in the centers as well. In the halves, Anthony Delaney and Jaden White. In prop, you got Jordan Ford and Rex Slattery. At hooker, Thomas Wallace. In the second rows, two of the best in the game, David Barner and Kobe Johnston. At lock, you got Sarahu Fehu, one of the most underrated players in the SRL. Off the bench, you got Abraham Walker, Ben Arnold, Mark Hunt, and Chance Bunn.
Oh.
Yeah, that is a very dangerous side. What team is that, sorry?
That's Auckland.
Yeah, that's a very
I think
very
Auckland
dangerous.
will win.
Yeah,
I think
I would have to agree with
So what's our
Auckland
tips?
here.
Is it
Auckland 13 plus.
Auckland. Yeah, Auckland 13 plus. Their side is pretty strong. I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure they're gonna win the
Yeah.
SRL.
I'll actually go. I'll go bold.
Fucking go.
I'll go the rest. I'll go the rest. I think their halves are gonna make it. Their halves, if their halves can be good enough, I think they can win this game. Like, I think if the Auckland, their one weakness is they don't have a genuine experienced half. They have Jaden White and Delaney, who are good, but they're not really as experienced as Levi Raymond and Luke Thompson. So that's why I'm gonna give the rest the edge here.
Fair enough. So.
All right, so that should wrap up the episode here. Thank you guys for watching SRL 360. I appreciate